Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Scott Wagner, and today we're going to talk a little baseball. We have a couple of guests on from the baseball team. Yellow Jackets are 10-1 in conference play and sit in first place atop the South Division of the WVSU. They are coming off a sweep and a doubleheader over Fairmont State on Tuesday, and we welcome now Sean Loyd, assistant coach. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me, Scott.
I want to start a little bit with kind of how you came to be assistant coach at West Virginia State. That I know you went here, so just talk about how the process of becoming the assistant coach.
It really wasn't a process that I was welcoming. I had a year of eligibility left, and I was not a standout player when I played. And I was home in the summer, and Coach Bailey had called me and asked if I wanted to be his assistant coach. What made me mad, because I had a year of eligibility left. I thought, this is going to be my year, and I had conveyed that to him, and he had told me that, well, we just signed a catcher from Hurricane High School named Jason Moore, and you're not going to beat him out. And I said, well, we'll see. So we get to fall practice, and Jason was 6'5", 240 pounds. Ended up being I think a 20th round draft pick of the Diamondbacks. And when I took one look at him, I decided that coaching may be the way for me to go. So that's kind of how we got started. I never intended being here this long from the onset, but it's been the best thing that's happened to me.
Now, you've also recently taken on the role as interim athletic director. You balance both that and being an assistant coach of the basketball team. How's that day-to-day? Baseball team, excuse me. Still got basketball in the brain.
I understand.
But of the assistant coach of the baseball team and the interim athletic director, it's got to be difficult, time-consuming to balance both of those.
It is, but it's not a burden. I'm fortunate that I have the ability to coach baseball, which I love to do, but also work in the athletic department and deal with all the other sports and all the other coaches. So it's fun. It's never a situation where, man, I really don't want to go in there today. It's fun. I look forward to it. I get a chance to work with just excellent folks. And, it is time consuming, but, what else would I rather be doing than being around sports?
Right. Now, Coach Bailey is a legend here at West Virginia State. He's been here for a very long time. The field is named after him, the baseball field here on campus. So just talk a little bit about Coach Bailey and, how great of a coach he is.
He's unbelievable in the fact that he can read people quickly. Our players, the opposing players, and that sort of thing. And he's brilliant. From a baseball standpoint, he's brilliant, and he was a professor in education here for years. He's had a lot of life experience that he can, take that and put that into a baseball setting, and it becomes useful. And he's unbelievable. I've been spoiled. I actually feel sorry for other assistant coaches when they start out that they didn't have the same opportunity that I've had, to work with a coach as good as Cal.
Now, as athletic director, we've talked in the past about the coaches across every sport here at West Virginia State. Just a lot of great coaches in every sport, and I know that makes your job easier.
Oh, absolutely. When you look across the board at our head coaches, it's not a situation where you have to show them how to do things or constantly remind them to how to do things. They know how to run programs. They know how to get things done on campus, and they have good contacts on campus. And there's a lot of really talented, dedicated folks that work in our department.
Yeah, no question about that. Now let's kind of go to talking about this baseball season. You sit at 10-1 right now. You were picked by the coaches to win the conference, finishing second last season, runner-up in the conference tournament. So just what were the expectations, your personal expectations of this team for the season?
In baseball, we handle those kind of things a little bit differently because we play so many games. And a lot of times, if you have expectations that, player X is going to do this and player Y is going to do this, sometimes you're right and you hit on it, but, sometimes you get fooled. I thought that, we had a lot of experienced position players coming back who can swing the bat a little bit, and that helps. But I was excited about our pitching staff and the types of arms that we could run out there, but also the variety of arms. We have a lot of different types of pitchers with different strengths, and I think that as the season plays out, that's going to be very, very beneficial for us.
As an assistant coach of the Yellow Jackets, what is your role on the team and on the coaching staff?
I coach the hitters, and I coach the catchers, and I coach third base during the games. Recruiting and then that sort of thing. It's a team effort with the coaching staff. We all just kind of jump in, and whatever needs to be done, gets done. So it's coaches have enormous egos, as you know, you've dealt with. But a lot of times, and especially in our case, us as a group, the four of us as a group, the egos kind of get left out of it, and we just figure out what we have to do to master that day and move forward.
Let's talk about certain players on the team. One guy who on Tuesday set the school record for home runs, Darby. We talked a little bit about that yesterday. He hit his 57th home run, which set the record for West Virginia State. This guy's a fourth-year senior, and he's played a lot of great games for West Virginia State.
He's done a very, very good job. He hit 20 home runs as a freshman, which is the second all-time in the conference, I think, or third maybe in the conference all-time. Bo's a good hitter. When he hits the ball up the middle and the other way a lot, typically that's when he's at his best. I think sometimes he gets into, like most power hitters do, trying to pull the ball too much and that sort of thing. When you look at the fact that most game plans by the other teams is to make sure he doesn't beat you. He doesn't see a lot of good pitches. So he has to make sure when he does see a pitch that he can drive, that he's on point and can square it up and drive it. But he's done a really good job for us, and it's nice to have that threat there in the 3-hole where one swing of the bat and you can get yourself back in the game.
Yeah, and we've seen him do that time and time again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, another player, Darby was all-region last year. Evan Kendall was also all-region. He's a closer for West Virginia State, and it's great to have that guy out of the bullpen. He can come in and just shut people down. Yeah,
absolutely. And Evan is, I think, his strength, and obviously he's talented as a pitcher, and he's had to learn to throw, the high three-quarter like he does. He was more of an over-top guy when he came out of high school. But I think his strength is his maturity. He doesn't get rattled. And most of the time when he's pitching, it's a stress situation. There's runners on base, or we have a tight lead, and that sort of thing. So he's throwing very, very important pitches for us, and it's nice to have a young man to come out there that mentally can handle that situation, because oftentimes that's what makes guys not be closers. Yeah. They start thinking about consequences and that sort of thing, but he focuses on making pitches, and it's he's a lot of fun to be around. He's very, very fun to coach, and he's just a great young man.
We got about 30 seconds left. As you said, 10-1 right now in the conference. What do you feel about moving forward? How do you feel your team's playing right now?
I thought yesterday we played okay in spurts. I think we still have, like everybody else, some areas that we need to clean up and improve on. And we told the players after the game, once you make a mistake, when we have the correction, learn the correction and never forget it. Stay with it, and that's how we build and get better. So, that's what we're trying to do.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
No problem. We are going to take a break. Sit tight. We'll be right back with pitcher Alex Gale.